Anthony Edwards has quickly become one of the most exciting players to watch in the NBA. In just his second season, he's already ranked in the top 25 in points per game, largely due to his incredible athleticism and elite scoring ability. We're going to break down his offensive skill set to understand what makes him a dynamic scorer. If you look at his shot chart, you'll notice that most of his shots come from behind the three-point line or down here right around the rim. Also notice how few shots came in the space in between the two. That shows he's most comfortable shooting threes or attacking and getting all the way to the basket without settling for many mid-range shots. Pay attention to this as we break down his game. Let's start with how he attacks the basket. Since Ant doesn't settle for mid-range shots, he's always looking to get all the way to the basket. He's great at using combinations of speed, strength, and explosiveness to get by his man. This can have devastating effects on defenders. The first detail to notice is how Ant usually jumps off of 2 feet to finish at or around the rim, especially when he's expecting contact. As you see here, this helps him absorb the contact without losing his body control, as he's able to maintain his forward momentum to finish at the rim. Ant also uses these 2-foot jumps to extend his arm past the shot blockers to get layups at the rim. But notice where he's taking off from, out by the dotted circle. And when he lands, he's down below the backboard. It will be much harder to cover that much distance by jumping off only 1 foot. Lastly, because Ant begins his jump so far from the rim, it's almost impossible for defenders to anticipate or block. By the time Ant is halfway to the rim, his defender is still on the ground because he's not expecting Ant to elevate from that far away. This negates any chance of blocking the shot. Here, Ant uses the same jump off of 2 feet to absorb contact and extend past the big man for the finish. But Anthony Edwards is so much more than an elite jumper. In order to get to the rim, Edwards combines many different physical skills to create efficient, fluid motions with almost no wasted movement. For defenders, this makes him very hard to stay in front of on his drives. In the next 2 clips, we'll dissect the different physical skills Ant displays to make these plays possible. First, here's the 6 physical skills we'll be looking for: speed, agility, power, also called explosiveness, balance, coordination, and reaction time. The ability to combine these skills and utilize them quickly is what makes Ant elite at attacking the rim. Same thing here. Let's view it first at full speed. One last thing to notice is how effectively Ant uses a change of speed to blow by the defender. He starts with a slow dribble before explosively changing direction into a sprint. With all this in mind, it's easy to see how Ant gets to the rim so consistently without having to settle for mid-range shots. Now let's talk about his three-point shooting. As often as Ant gets to the rim, he actually scores more of his points from three-point range. He's a high-volume shooter and makes a decent percentage. He's comfortable shooting from different scenarios and even when the shot is contested. Whenever he feels he has enough space, he's shooting. Notice the different scenarios he's shooting from. Like here, a deep 3 off the dribble in transition. Or here, coming off a screen into a hop. Here's a few more off the catch. With his footwork, Ant likes to use a quick 1-2 step, planting his left foot first and then his right. He also uses a staggered stance, with his right foot slightly ahead of his left. Here's another off of a jab step in the triple threat. And then finally, off the dribble in isolation. Opposing teams know how explosive Ant is in getting to the rim, so to prevent this, defenders usually play slightly off him to deter any drives. This frees up Ant to shoot threes consistently, and he uses this to his advantage. Whenever Ant gets his man moving backwards, he'll just pull up to shoot the three. Edwards loves using a dribble move to get the defender's momentum to shift back, so he can create more space to shoot. Notice how Ant has to sell the drive by lifting up both of his feet to get his defender to shift back and create enough space for the shot. The move doesn't have to be as complex either. Here, it's a simple one dribble pound into a step back. That's all it takes to shift the defender back enough. And here, it's a quick between the legs into a sidestep. Ant is able to use the defense's anticipation of a drive against them to get more three-point opportunities. This makes him a dynamic threat, inside and out on offense. This concludes our film study on Anthony Edwards' offensive skill set. Let us know what you've learned and which breakdowns you'd love to see next. Thank you for watching, and grow abundantly.